Hi guys, Wade Markoski. This is the Organic Podcast number 9. We have George Markoski from Property Secrets.
I'll let
you say that part.
Our group's Property Secrets, but it's Positive Property.
Positive Property
Solutions Australia. Long name.
That's all right.
Doesn't matter.
But the property guru, we should say.
Some people call me that.
Yeah. So George has brought along a Temple brewer today. Nice South Australian organic wine. I'll let him introduce it and pour us a glass.
Well, what I love about this wine, it's preservative free and organic.
Yes.
As well.
So you get
because normally what I do if I have a wine that's not preservative free, I'll actually get a couple of drops of hydrogen peroxide.
Okay.
Put it in there, and what it does is neutralises it.
Nice. I think I might have seen you talk about that before on one of your other videos.
Yeah.
One of your many.
Nothing like a red wine.
Yes.
And this is a quite nice, light, fruity, very light wine.
Very good.
Hints of strawberry.
Bit of strawberry in there. Okay. Nice. And Temple Brewer is a McLaren Vale, is that right? No.
I know it's South Australian because I remember I bought.
Riverland, McLaren Vale, and Eden Valley is where.
When I first discovered Temple Brewer, I bought $10,000 worth of wine in one shot.
Is that right?
I got it delivered in a truck. It's great.
Into your cellar.
Yep.
You get them to unload it as well.
Okay.
You get them to load it into your cellar as well?
No,
or did you have to? That was part of your workout.
That was part of my workout.
I'm
exactly.
sure. That's right.
Yeah, cheers.
Good. Well, cheers. Thanks, George, for coming along.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
So taste, eh? Oh yeah. You can definitely taste that fruitiness in it.
Fruity.
And it's light.
It's a beautiful wine. I love it.
Yeah, thanks. Really appreciate it. Yeah, light and bright, definitely. And you can taste those strawberries straight away. So I suppose we've got you on here today, and let's start with property. I mean, that's your favourite thing.
Well, look,
that's what you've been doing for a while.
That's what I'm known for, is property. That's right, exactly. But as you know, I'm a bit of a biohacker. We're going to go into that as well.
Yes.
So property, I suppose.
So what got you into it? Can we go that far back?
Yeah, we can.
Cool.
Well, what got me into property was one of the things. When I grew up, I actually grew up in a family that struggled to make ends meet.
Okay. So it's tough going.
Yeah. And the thing is, one of my friends had a Monopoly set. We played Monopoly. I loved it.
Okay.
And
hours and hours of it, obviously, because the game takes a while anyway.
It takes a while, yes. And I loved it. I thought, wow, how amazing is this? Buying property and renting it out. So I was hooked.
Yeah. From then.
Anyway, from then.
Nice.
And then what happened was I came home and I said to my parents, get me Monopoly. And they said, nah, I'm not going to get you. So I made my own.
Okay.
So what I did is I drew it out. And
sketched it all up.
It wasn't quite, because there's no internet. So
couldn't copy it properly.
The memory. So it was a really crap version of Monopoly.
But it was still a version.
Still a version.
Excellent.
So I started doing that. So I knew from a young age that if I was going to become successful, it was up to me. It wasn't going to happen to my parents. What I mean? I was going to inherit a fortune or anything else like that. So I suppose that's how I started.
Okay, excellent. And then, so I suppose, what was the first property?
Okay, so my first property was in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And very scary getting your first property. I bought this old bluestone villa in Forestville.
Okay.
And I was working in a marketing company at the time. So I'm in Swan Hill, running this thing, and I've got my door closed, and people knocking the door, waiting for me to get out and run the show. I'm bidding. I'm bidding, right? I'm holding this, and the pressure's on. I'm bidding, and suddenly they go, "Yep, you got it." I'm like, "Oh my god, I got it."
Yeah.
Am I happy? Am I sad? What am I? I don't know.
No. It's a new emotion, I'm assuming.
It's a new emotion. You don't know if you're happy or sad because did I pay too much? Is
That's
the
right.
Right property?
How's it going to turn out in the future?
All those things happen. But next day I wake up and I'm like, wow, I own a property. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And look, great move. I paid $179,000 and it's probably worth about $850,000 now.
Far out.
So went up quite a bit.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So my first property, I really just nailed it.
Yeah.
And I knew,
from there.
Well, look, I mean, I had a business.
So that was a rented out property?
No, that was my personal home.
Okay, sure.
Right, and what I knew is I knew I wanted to invest in property.
Yeah.
And I started investing, but back in those days it was negative gearing.
Okay.
So I'd buy a property, there's minus 300 a week. Buy another one, 250.
Okay.
Before you know it, I've got 4 properties. I'm working 7 days a week.
To pay for these properties.
Paying for these properties. And
which obviously are going to appreciate over time, but how much time can you go through that process, I suppose?
What do? Give up today for tomorrow?
Or increase your income to pay for those. I don't know, so what was the solution?
Yeah, so I was working my ass off and it just wasn't workable. It really wasn't. So I thought to myself, I'm in my 20s, I want to have fun now.
Yeah. You don't want to be paying out for these people's houses.
Don't want to wait till I'm 50 to have fun.
Yeah.
When the properties go up. So what happened was I had 2 doors. One was to give up property, and number 2 was really work it out.
Okay.
Luckily I chose door number 2. And it was actually, I call it the $1 million decision.
Okay.
But it's actually 3 decisions in one. Decision number 1 was to work property out. because quitting wasn't an option for me.
No.
And if you quit, you're guaranteed to lose. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
It doesn't go any further than that.
It doesn't go further. So I knew I had no choice. So that was the first step. Step 2, I decided to ignore everyone else giving property advice.
Yeah.
Because there was
all the experts out there.
Yeah, because
they didn't really do it on a day-to-day basis.
That was the problem. That was the problem.
Yeah.
A lot of them were super spammy, and they didn't walk their talk.
Yeah.
They just said, "Do this and you make money.
Yeah.
Do this and you make money."
But I'm not actually doing it.
It wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And then I decided to get real mentors that knew what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, like Anthony Robbins says, if you want to become successful, find someone that's got the results you want and model them.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to...
It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it?
Simple.
But not everyone does it.
Well,
they go and ask their neighbour, they go and ask the person across the road. That's right. Like, whoever they can get in contact with, but they don't actually ask the experts.
Totally. And that frustrates me because I've got a group called Property Secrets in Facebook.
Yes.
That's a community of over 3,500 purpose-filled property investors, a great community around Australia.
Excellent.
And sometimes people come in there, and because I'm helping people and teaching them about property, and people come in there and go, "Oh, but this is going to happen, that's going to happen."
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
so it's supposed to be a collective-minded group.
Do you know any? Do you own any property?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, so they've even got advice and they haven't got property.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I only want to get advice from people that have done it before.
That's right. Or doing it.
Or doing it.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah.
Exactly.
So I decided to get people that were actually got the results that I wanted.
Yeah. So you seek them out?
Yep.
This is before, I'm assuming, Facebook and social media and stuff like that?
Yes.
So how did phone call, meet them, get an introduction? How did it work back then?
I was doing NLP and I met this guy from Melbourne called Nick Hallett, the Trillionaire.
Okay, the Trillionaire. I think so.
He paid $20 million to go to space.
Okay.
On the Russian space program.
Okay.
Back in those days.
Far out.
So, and he did it all through property.
Yes.
And I thought, well,
if he can go to space through property,
that's what I was thinking.
That's right.
So anyway, so what happened was he was living in Florida.
Okay.
In Miami.
Yeah.
And what happened was he was living in the same building that David Beckham was.
Okay.
So he had houses all around the world and was making all this money out of property, doing nothing.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I thought, if he can do it, I want to do it as well. So what I do is I send him an email and say, "Hey Nick, I'm going to be in Miami, let's catch up for coffee." Little did he know that I
You're coming from Australia. That's right.
Saved up all the money I'd left over, flying from Australia just to meet up with him.
Yeah.
And
he didn't know that was happening.
He didn't know that was happening.
No, okay.
So we catch up, ended up going out for some drinks. I went to this bar, amazing bar.
Yeah.
And he's ordering apple martinis. So I'm thinking, you drink apple martinis?
That's what I'm going to do now.
Exactly.
That's right.
So we're sitting there drinking apple martinis, and I've got like $100 US in my pocket, 50 cents exchange rate. So every time I pay for something,
double the price.
It's painful.
Yeah, sure.
And Miami's not cheap either.
Yeah, and you're thinking about those properties in the future, and you're going, okay,
and I've got negative gearing at the time, and every minute my bank balance is going like this.
That's right. It's supposed to be going up, not
I'm
down.
trying to smile, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there we are, and I'm like, he's ordered a few rounds, so I'm thinking my turn next. So I'm like, here's 50, keep the change, 2 apple martinis. She's like, no, that would be another $40. Plus the tip on top of that. I'm like, God. So there goes the rest of my wallet. I want to drink. But anyway, but what inspired me was, that was my formative mind.
But you were willing to do that.
Yes.
Right? That's a tough position to put yourself in.
Successful people
will go, okay,
I'm willing to do the things that unsuccessful people aren't, right?
Most people wouldn't put themselves into that position.
No. And it was my 4-minute mile. You know Roger Bannister, when he broke the 4-minute mile, 1954 or something, and then straight after, there was a guy called Landley, 46 days later, and then within a year, 12 people did it, and now 12 other people have done it. Well, I thought to myself, if he can do it,
I'm going to be the next.
I can do it.
Or I can be one of those 12.
So I'm thinking, if he can make $200,000 of property without getting out of bed, I can do 50.
Yeah.
So that really motivated me, and I've got a few other ways of doing it, and that changed everything.
Okay, fantastic.
A few short years of getting the best practices from here, over here, and over here, putting it together in my own system. I retired.
Yeah.
At 37.
Well, fantastic.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I retired at 37 with 10 properties, with making the passive income $180,000 a year.
Well done.
What passive income is money that you make when you sleep. You
don't actually have to work for it.
Or if you're awake, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 ways of making money. Labour or capital. And labour is when you work, and capital is when you sleep, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, okay. And obviously that's the choice that most people don't take.
No, exactly. Yes.
So, why is that? Is it because it's actually harder to do active work than it is passive work?
A lot harder. Because
that seems to be the choice.
It's a comfort zone and a mindset.
Yeah.
Right, see, the funny thing is, because we're helping people all around Australia, because my overarching goal in our company is to empower 10,000 Australians to create freedom, financial freedom through property using the Markoski method.
Yeah.
And we've got over 2,000 people already around Australia.
Well done.
And what I find of all these people that come in is one common thing. Most people can do it, they just don't realise they can. It's a mindset.
Yeah, and so that's, I suppose, a lot of what you do now is getting them through that process?
The number one thing we do is help them with mindset, but then give them the strategy.
Tools as well.
Without the strategy,
it's not going to be.
It's not going to work either. So you need both. But the hardest thing is the mindset.
Yeah. And do your students, I suppose, go through ups and downs emotionally of when they're purchasing and buying property and doing those deals? And that's partly, that's a lot of what you do.
That's why I guess having a coach to help you through it.
Yeah.
Because it's emotional. Because what happens is most people give up easily, and this is what happens as well.
They'll go out and look at a few properties.
What happens is they find a property, find the right property, and we get a valuation. Valuation comes along, or they get rejected in finance, and they're like, oh no, property's not meant for me. And I'm like, if you had a baby, and you teach it to walk, and the first time it fell over, you said, okay, that's
You're not going to walk forever. Yeah, that's right.
Would you do that? They go, no. They go, why do this?
Yeah.
Because the people that make it are people that don't quit.
Yeah.
And you're going to have challenges.
There are going to be those wrong backs of finance. There are going to be the wrong property valuations. You've got to go through all that.
Sometimes what happens is you go through and everything's smooth and bang, done.
Yeah.
Other times you've got a whole minefield that you've got to go through. But it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You just got to go through to the end.
Or sometimes do you go through the numbers on a property and it just doesn't work based on what the sale price is? And so you have to leave some. Is that right?
Look, this is the funny thing. The hardest thing to do,
because you'll get emotionally attached
to get them out of a property, because we've got to think called a cash flow calculator.
Yeah, okay.
And if the numbers don't work, the rule is get out.
Don't buy.
If numbers work, the rule is go.
Yeah.
Now, that sounds simple, but it's hard. It's a bit like the VCR process.
Is it because it is an emotional attachment to that property?
Very emotional.
Because all those 10 properties that you got by the time you were 37, were you emotionally attached to them, or were they all, but they were business investments? Doesn't matter. If you had to sell them all tomorrow, that was fine.
I don't care.
No.
I see
and that's the bit that people need to do.
property as a vehicle.
Yeah.
But people aren't emotional about the property.
No.
They're emotional about themselves.
The decisions they made to buy them.
They're shitting themselves, most people.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And the thing is, courage is not lack of fear. It's having fear and doing it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right, because you have to. Because every time you made a decision, you probably had that fear.
You buy a property worth 500,000. It's going to be scary.
Of course.
Even with me, after having 20.
It's still another 500,000 for the next one.
So
That's right.
I'm doing a deal at the moment where I'm buying 46 properties in one shot.
Fantastic.
And that's scary.
Well, yeah, of course.
Out of my comfort zone, right?
Yeah. So,
but I'm going to do it anyway.
That's right.
Because I've had the practice.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
There are 46 properties, that's a lot.
But if you can pull that off, or when you do, you know, obviously to somebody that is listening to this that hasn't even made that first purchase, 46 sounds like a lot. So it's daunting, right? But if it's still daunting to you,
it's a bit like the gym though.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked out so much that now 46, I can lift that.
Exactly.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah, I was looking at a property deal on a golf course actually that's here for sale in Adelaide, but went through it and the numbers just didn't work out. Yeah. So we left that deal.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It's just going to cost too much to make it profitable.
Being able to walk away.
Yeah.
Is the hardest part.
So I was attached to the golf course and having the dream of buying one with our investors, and it just got to the point once I went through all the numbers that that investment wasn't for us. But because I like golf, you may know that, and I'm like, I'd love to buy a golf course. So the one came up for sale, and the expression of interest finished last Friday. We didn't put an offer in.
The funny thing is though, some properties you do for the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So my house on the beach, right on the beachfront. That's not a good investment.
But it's
right.
That's like buying the car that's not.
I bought it because I love it.
Yeah.
Because I love waking up on the beach.
It motivates you to do all these other things, I'm assuming.
I need to be in a really good place to be able to do good work.
Because.
So I make money out of that anyway.
Of course, but your emotional intelligence to go, okay, if I'm feeling happy, then I can make those decisions to buy like a 47 property deal.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, because when you buy a big property that you live in, and that's when I was doing Channel 9 the Today Show.
Yes.
With Carl Steckenby. What's that show called?
He's on Today, is it?
I don't watch TV, but
but you're on it.
I'm on it.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, on that show, we were talking about rent vesting.
Yeah,
and how I was saying that it's your first home. You want to get investment property, not a house to live in, because you're getting more return. Because as Robert Kiyosaki, I mentioned Robert Kiyosaki.
Well, I noticed that you have met him in real life.
A few times, actually.
Yeah? Been to his...
I gave him a copy of my book.
Yeah.
And I was worried because I've got the cash flow quadrant in there.
Yeah. Oh, you've used some of his techniques.
But I said, this
in your
Robert Kiyosaki.
You've always acknowledged him.
I've totally acknowledged and told him that I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
So he actually said, I love your book. Now, I don't know if he loves my book or loves what I said about
the fact that he's in there. That's right.
Either or, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's right. One day you're going to be in a book, someone's going to write about you, you know?
Exactly. So he said it's one of his favourite property books that he's read.
Yeah,
great. But I see him quite often when he comes to Australia.
Through the Success Network, is it or something like that? Yeah.
Success Resources.
Your Success Resources, you're part of that group or something? How involved are you?
I know the CEO.
Okay. Well,
he gets me some really good gigs.
Yeah, okay.
So what happened was when Gary Vee came to Australia,
yes,
he rang me and said, George, how would you like to have dinner with Gary Vee?
Yeah, dinner.
And I said, yeah, but there's going to be 10 people. Yeah. And I really, unless I'm sitting next to him, I'm not interested.
Not going to
George, I'll sit you right next to him.
Okay.
I'm like,
and you got to sit next to Gary Vee?
Right like this, and over bottles of wine.
Nice.
And
obviously Wine Library TV, Gary Vee's.
Gary Vee loves his wine, and he's very inspirational.
And that's how he started it. Have you watched the first episode of Wine Library TV? It's pretty good. It's just like what we would have done in our first videos, right?
I'd love to check
Google
it out.
Yeah. Or YouTube, check it out. His
and we
first
were drinking
video.
nice bottles of Penfolds, and it was really good.
Oh yeah.
And
so did he like them?
Well, he'd
already sold them.
Both of us are big fans of Penfolds,
yeah,
which
nice.
came in handy. But being right next to him, spending 2 hours and drinking and eating was a lot of fun. It's great. Amazing guy.
Yeah, he is one of the leaders obviously in social media and podcasts and videos
and he said, look George, you need to do more content.
Yeah, that's his advice.
I said, Gary, I can't.
How much more content?
He goes,
can
watch
I do
this, and there was a camera crew filming what we were talking about.
Yeah, okay.
And he said, you need to document.
Yeah.
So I'm actually in the middle of hiring.
It's more about documenting the content creation. Is that right?
I'm thinking of getting a film crew to follow me around.
Yeah.
And just document what I do.
Yeah.
Because that way, it's more real anyway. Because I think the more authentic you are, the better anyway.
Yeah. Well, they want to see what you're doing most of the time. To find out, how does George do that to be able to buy properties like that. So I think it would be great. But you do a fair bit of your own stuff at the moment?
I do a lot of videos anyway.
Yeah.
And,
a film crew is the next step.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, Gary would say he's got 2 or 3.
Got to listen to Gary.
That's right.
He knows what he's doing.
He does. Yes. All right. A bit about keeping well and stem cell and rejuvenation and cryotherapy. I don't say this word very often, or infrared. You do a lot of stuff to live a lot longer than the average person.
I'm a
biohacker, is that that's the term?
Yep. Okay. And when I was recently in London for the health symposium.
Okay.
Right.
Before COVID.
Ended up having dinner with the guy from Bulletproof Radio.
Bulletproof Radio.
Dave Asprey.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
And I was at the VIP dinner.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the secret. What happened was there were all these tables, and I saw Dave Asprey's name, and I walked to my table, pulled my name, and put it next to his.
So you got a seat next to him. Okay.
Amazing guy, really amazing.
No one noticed, obviously.
Look, sometimes, and we were drinking this wine called Dry Creek wines.
Dry Creek, okay.
And what it is they actually starve the vineyard of water.
Okay.
To stress the wine out, where it produces more antioxidants. It's actually better for you.
Better for you.
Amazing.
Okay.
So it's the next level.
Yeah, okay.
So
it's better than
we're drinking
organic. So next time we need to get.
We're drinking organic.
What do we need? Dry.
We need organic, biodynamic stressed wines.
Biodynamic stressed.
Usually
wines,
the way we stress them is through
dehydration. Okay. Interesting. That's something I learned. Yeah.
But see, stressing yourself is important, and I'll do that myself.
Yeah. But it's not easy.
So I do once or twice a year. I do 4 or 5 days with no water, no food.
Yeah. What is that like for your mind?
You get very emotional.
You do, and you just. I suppose the people around you have to be aware that's happening.
Luckily, I can control my time because I run my own business and I can do what I like.
So you don't have to interact with people during that. If you don't need to.
I don't have to, but I do anyway.
Okay, you still do.
Much as normal. Because what happens is my energy is up and down.
Yeah.
So are my emotions. So you got to get me in the right spot.
Yeah. But and what's that do? That does something to your body?
Give us a little bit. Stress your body.
Yeah.
And when your body gets stressed, it signals to your body to rejuvenate.
Does it? Yeah.
Yes.
That's how the rejuvenation process.
Most rejuvenation actually is stressing your body out.
Yeah.
So, for example, broccoli.
Yeah.
Broccoli's got sulforaphane in it, which is mildly toxic. And because it's toxic, it's good for you.
The body has to fight against it, or
the body
stress against it.
No, what happens is the body switches on, upregulates certain genes.
Okay.
So really, what's happening when people say vegetables are good for you? Actually, they're not. They're bad for you. But that's why they're good for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Because
so it's in the reverse.
A lot of people don't get that. Right? Because they think it's good for you. But see, more is not is less.
Okay, so junk food is actually good for you, but it gives you the reverse.
That's right.
That's why we want to eat it.
Junk food's good for you because it's full of calories.
And that's what the body wants.
Would have loved it. Yes.
Yeah.
But we don't burn the calories anymore.
Yeah.
So it's bad for you. And then what it does, it signals your body that things are good. And when it signals your body things are good,
you want
your
more.
Your body's like.
Oh, that's why it's not fighting it off and it lets
right.
it go. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Same as working out stresses your body.
Yeah.
It's good. Because a lot of people say, people like cars, but we're the opposite.
Yeah.
Because if you sit on the couch and do nothing, you're going to deteriorate.
Yes.
And
cars the same deal,
but
right?
Cars, if you look after it and keep it in one place.
Oh, yeah, that still will survive. Yeah. But you want to start the engine occasionally.
Occasionally, but you don't have to work it out.
Yeah.
The more you use it, the worse it gets.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
in that
body,
sense.
the more you use it, the better it gets.
Yes.
To a degree.
Yeah.
Because banks were buying old cars in England at one stage.
Okay.
And buying car parks and filling them up as an investment.
Yeah.
Because if you get a mint condition car and hold it long enough,
it will appreciate.
The price goes crazy.
So they were buying really old cars?
Don't know exactly what they were doing.
No, but
they were getting mint condition.
No, I just like cars.
They were getting mint condition cars and storing them. And there was a 50-year plan.
Okay.
And the appreciation is just humongous if you can wait that long and if you've got the capital.
And a bank obviously can do that.
Yeah, that's what they can do. Yeah. They're diversified.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. All right. And so on cars, you like cars, I'm assuming?
Look, I don't mind them. I mean, I've got a I've got a convertible Porsche at the moment, which I really enjoy. It's a great car.
Was it a sort of a dream car or a milestone car?
No.
Or it was just off the top board? Okay. I just thought you might, as people work towards their goals, they go, okay, I'm going to buy a car.
I've never been motivated by cars.
Okay.
I bought one because I wanted a convertible, and I was single at the time.
Okay.
And it worked well.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Roof off, that's right, man. Exactly. I'm going for a drive. Yeah, cool.
Exactly. But I've never been into cars. I'm more into experiences than material objects.
Yeah. Okay.
So I love to travel. I love to learn. I love doing courses. That sort of stuff.
So where would you have gone this year if we weren't having a break this year?
My plan this year was first of all to go to Japan at Easter.
Oh, is that where you're going? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And
skiing?
There's a famous chef.
Okay.
In Tokyo who's 90-something years old. And I wanted to see him before. His name's Juru.
Okay.
And apparently he's still perfect.
He still cooks you the food.
And you've got to wait months to get in.
And you'd book to go see him.
I was just going to pay the extra to get
in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But you've got to pay like $1,000 to get in.
But that's all good.
He's the best in the world. I couldn't wait. So I love to go to experiences and I try different things. I like different cultures. Yeah. And fantastic. I love every place. I love Europe. I love Italy. I love the Greek islands, Macedonia.
Yeah. So as soon as you can travel, you'll be going. Where do you think you'll go?
There was a group of us that want to do a mastermind in Bali.
Okay. Yep.
Just a group of 4 of us that are business owners.
And just get away.
And spend 3 days together and discussing ideas.
Great.
Do that.
Yeah.
That's
probably doable. I'd say Indonesia. Is that what you're thinking?
I think it's doable in the near future.
Sooner rather than going to.
What they've done is they've moved to Bali. And they run their business from there.
Like they're just even now.
Okay. Even now. And funny enough, now because of COVID.
Yeah. What's it like over there? Have you heard?
Totally fine.
Oh, it is.
Nothing's closed. Nothing closed in the first place. Okay. Like my friend rang me from when we were all locked down here.
Yeah.
He rang me from Bali. Going, man, I'm having a haircut.
I'm doing whatever.
Right. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Okay.
And apparently they haven't had a problem with COVID.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's
no lockdown, no nothing.
Well, I haven't heard much about Bali or Indonesia. Yeah, so
don't know. I don't know.
But he's living there, so he's actually in Kuta or around there.
He's out now. He came back, then he tried to go back to Bali, and then
probably shouldn't have come back.
Wrong visa. They locked him up for 5 days, cost him 20 grand.
Far out. Okay. So, that's an interesting story. Yeah.
Well, he met this girl online, and he was supposed to meet her. Went to Bali, and he was locked up, and she was bringing him food.
And she still was bringing food. Nice.
Wow.
What a story.
Yeah.
Very good. And I suppose about you got a property show.
Yes.
Bring us back to property if you're all right. Yeah.
What we do, absolutely. So Property Secrets is where we live on Facebook.
Okay.
If anyone's interested in finding where we are.
Yes.
And every Wednesday I do a live show.
Okay.
And what I do is ask me anything. So people ask me questions.
Yeah.
And last night they said, how did you meet your wife?
Okay.
So I understand.
Yeah, sure.
So I just answer any question and just talk. And give people some solid understanding about property investing and the principles. Because really, when you base your decisions on principles, makes all your decisions easy.
Okay.
No matter what you're doing, whether it's property, whether it's business, whether it's relation. You base it on principles.
Yeah, okay. And I suppose I've got a property in mind that a question, if that's right. It's a 1,200 square metre block. It's only less than 3 minutes out of the CBD of Adelaide.
Yep.
The person that's selling it doesn't need to sell the property. It can be subdivided, commercial, residential zoned. You can go up to 3 to 4 stories, and that the owner or vendor doesn't want to sell it less than $2,000 per square metre. So it's a $2 million purchase. Seems like it's priced most people out of a return.
Well, it has already, I can tell you.
That's right.
He's asking too much.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. I don't even know what suburb it is.
But like very close to the city. Yeah.
The problem is, 3-story dwelling.
Yeah.
You need to have a lot of experience to do that.
To build it.
You need to,
this would be like a medical centre, is what they're pitching. The salesperson.
The challenge is, I'm not a fan of commercial.
Yeah. So if
you want to do a commercial, first thing you got to do is get a 10 to 20 year lease
for a medical somebody who wants to.
Before you build it.
Yeah.
Before you even put the offer in.
Don't even worry.
So what happens is you get the lease tied in.
Okay.
Then you get the building.
Okay.
So a lot of people get it the wrong way around.
Yeah.
You don't buy the building first.
And then go looking for a lease.
Because the money's in the lease.
Yeah.
Not the building.
Yeah.
The building doesn't matter.
No.
So yeah.
Okay, that's commercial. But let's say the person bought that property and went residential. You'd have to do like some high-end homes, obviously, 2-story or 3-story high-end homes.
Well, that's the thing.
But you've only got 1,200 square metres. So what do you get? Maybe 3.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you sold them for $2 million each, is that worth the deal? I don't know.
What suburb?
What is it called? Prospect. It's like right at the corner. No.
Not going to work.
No.
Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very start of Main North Road.
Yeah. It's not going to work.
No good.
No.
Yeah. That was just one that popped up yesterday, and I thought
this is the funny
an
thing.
interesting one.
Usually, when you buy a property, you're paying what the property's worth. No more, no less.
Yeah.
Right?
So you can't
get a bargain in property.
So the vendor wants to get some of the profit that the new purchaser would make out of developing it, right? And that's not. That doesn't happen, does it?
No, because what's happening is, if you outbid a builder, you're paying retail.
Yeah.
Because the builder's they
stop at a certain point.
So the builder's already calculated his margin in it.
Yeah.
So if he can't afford it, you definitely can't afford it. Simple.
So people generally buy those properties and pay retail because they want to live there.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter. It's like your place where you live, it doesn't matter.
If you're buying retail, totally fine. But if you want to make money out of development, you've got to be really careful, you've got to have the experience.
You've got to know your numbers.
You've got to think to yourself, why am I beating the developer or a builder?
Yeah. Can I afford to beat somebody that's doing this professionally?
Because lots of times builders will actually buy a property and make no profit just to keep their crew going.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
Because you might not have a crew, that's right, yeah.
You haven't got a crew.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, you're not going to make a profit, you're going to make a loss.
Yeah.
70% of people do developments lose money.
Okay.
So
70%.
70%.
Far out.
That's the thing, and everyone wants to do one. But the money's in the land, in the actual. So let's say you've got a property, and you can do 3 on there. Once you get council approval, you've already made the money.
Yeah.
Just by more money.
Just by
so doing it and building it doesn't add any value at all.
Unless you're a building company.
Probably takes value away.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it right, so you're better off.
And if you have all the delays,
adding the value, selling it for that.
Just sell it for whatever its realised value is after the subdivision documentation.
You don't have to do the subdivision, just get the approval.
No, just the approval,
That's it. And the approval is where the value's at.
Yeah.
That adds value to the land because then people got certainty. It's all about certainty.
Yeah.
The more certainty people have, the more value the land is.
Yes. Yeah, I've done a deal like that.
Yeah. And those deals are really easy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I bought a property in Park Hong.
Yeah, I was thinking you say
and that went up 150,000.
Yeah.
Just like that, just by
doing that.
And what I did is I do piggybacking.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I do is, let's say there's a street and someone's got a property and he's got a done free there.
Yes.
And I can get the same house, same land.
Just a few streets over or whatever. Yeah.
Then all I do is copy what they did.
Yeah.
No work at all. You don't have to pay for hardly anything. Costs you next to nothing.
Yes.
And you add value straight away. And you've added 150 grand. Done.
Yeah. Nice. Well, if they take that away, yeah, that's right. Very good.
But really, at the end of the day, money's in buying and holding.
Buying and holding. That would be your name.
That's the only people that made money in real estate long term.
Yeah, it's holding.
Are people that held it.
Yeah.
Not people that sell it.
Yeah.
Because buying and selling,
there's obviously costs.
It's all labour. Anyway.
So it's not as passive, it's still active.
It's still active, and there's nothing wrong with a bit of active, but really need to balance out. But my big thing is holding property. Because who do you know that's got property from 20 years ago? How much is it worth now?
Yeah, a lot more.
A shit ton, right? There's no question about it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yes.
And that's what I've been doing, buying and holding, because as you buy and hold, it snowballs and you make more and more.
Yes.
So when I retired, I made 180. Last year I made over $1 million from property without doing anything.
It's just,
it
just snowballs.
It's not overnight.
No.
It's an overnight success after 20 years.
20 years you get that type of return, Fantastic. Very good. All right, and so you studied at Bond University, I noticed, is that right? Yeah.
I studied neuro-linguistic programming.
And NLP, is it? Yeah.
NLP, and hypnotherapy at Bond Uni.
Okay.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
That was a while back?
That was a while back. That was back in the 90s. Back in those days, university life was so much fun.
Yeah. So you actually went to the campus and did, or was it online?
I lived near, I went to the campus.
Okay,
And they got a beautiful cafeteria, which is fantastic.
Okay.
And
because that's in Queensland, right?
Yeah. I was living in Miami Beach at the time.
Oh, okay.
Had so much fun.
So was that when you went and spoke and met your original mentor, property mentor? Did you go and live and stay there? Is that how that developed after that?
Okay.
No? I don't know. Trying to piece that puzzle together.
Miami Beach in Queensland.
Oh, sorry. Yes, there's two Miamis. There is. Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay. Yep. No, that's right. Just you were saying Florida before. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So no, I met him.
So you lived there. Yeah. Sorry.
I met him in Sydney.
Yeah.
Then I went to Florida afterwards. That happened afterwards.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Because what I was doing trainers training.
Yeah.
And he was learning NLP.
Okay.
And I was teaching him how to do NLP.
Yeah.
Because I was volunteering.
Fantastic. And so, do you recommend people study NLP or go and get it done these days? How do you feel about it now?
I think NLP is an amazing skill to have.
Yeah.
And the best skill, I think it's probably one of the best things you can do.
Yeah.
Definitely. I thoroughly recommend it. What I like about NLP, it teaches you how to communicate with yourself.
Okay.
More than with anyone else.
It doesn't matter about
anyone else.
It's more about you,
about
is
yourself.
it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because what it teaches you how to communicate with your unconscious mind.
Okay.
That sounds a bit weird, I know.
Yeah.
But
it takes a little bit more to think about, right?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, most people don't have rapport with their unconscious mind.
Yeah.
And what you want to do one thing, your unconscious wants to do something else, and you keep self-sabotaging. Through NLP, you can get rid of that. And what I found is when I did my NLP course, I doubled my income. Then I did another course, doubled it again.
Okay.
Just by...
Because you're able to talk to your subconscious, like you say.
I don't even know what I did.
It just allowed you to push through those emotional barriers, I'm assuming.
Gets rid of your, what do you call it, limiting beliefs and negative beliefs.
Yeah, okay.
And clarify them. Because a lot of people don't know their values or beliefs. And with NLP, you do a lot of work. So, because you do a hierarchy of values, you find out what pushes you, what drives you. Because your values actually drive everything you do. And if you've got the wrong values, if someone like, let's say for example, someone wants to quit smoking.
Yeah.
But their number one value is hedonism and fun. And health is number 5.
It's not going to work.
Never going to happen.
Yeah.
So, but what you can do is if you get that value and push it up to the top, then
quit.
You suddenly get rid of the smoking. But it doesn't matter what you do on the conscious level. If your value's here...
You'll still revert back to, even if you gave up for a week or two.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But if you change the values, you'll never do it again.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. I've been a smoker and I've quit. And I've been through that. So I had to change those values around.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
well done.
It took a while to do that.
Well done for doing that. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. It's been about 5 years now, 5 or 6 years.
That's excellent. They say it takes 10 years to go back to normal.
Yeah, completely. So I've got another 5 to go, yeah. But exactly what you say is, I had the priorities around, the values around the wrong way, changed them around, and you don't even want to think about that ever again.
Your values change.
Of course, so that helps as well. You're not stuck around that.
How many 18-year-olds smoke?
Yeah.
Everyone.
That's right.
And then as you get older, it gets less and less.
Yeah, because the values change. Yeah, okay, good point.
When you're 18, health's not number 1.
No,
fun is number 1.
Yeah, because you're invincible at 18, that's right.
It's only normal. It's okay.
Yeah, okay. Very good. All right, it's been great having you on, George. Great for the chat. Thanks for bringing along the Temple Brewer, certified organic, obviously. Buzz, if you want to order that and have a look at it. Sounds
it's
good.
A beautiful
bottle. Obviously, South Australia, we're blessed to have some very, very good wines.
The best wines in the world.
That's right. So it's good to enjoy one on a afternoon. So thanks for coming in.
Excellent. Thank you. Cheers.